And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first two quarters.
And it's just hard to imagine the Spurs without Coach Popovich on the sidelines. He's the longest tenured coach in the NBA and has done so much for this team. Easily one of the best coaches in the history of our league.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third.
What a game for LeBron. He's got 19 points, and he's knocked down 5 shots at the charity stripe. Good numbers for him.
Yeah, they are. It's been a nice element of his game today.
On the floor for San Antonio, Parker and Green are the guard pairing. Aldridge out there with Anderson. And it's Leonard in a small forward. On defense, San Antonio. It's a one-point game. Smith against Parker. Now the feed to Fry. Some solid defense from Aldridge.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him. Risky pass in a situation like that. Very lucky that wasn't a steal.
Fortunate to get it through. I thought he was headed the other way with that one.
Here's Leonard. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. Leonard's got the first points of the second half here for San Antonio.
And the Spurs last season became the first franchise to hire a female assistant coach. A big step, not just for the Spurs, but really for all of the NBA.
Boy, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip. They've got a battle inside.
This game has been a battle, and maybe they're starting to just run out of gas a little bit.
Screen by Smith. Irving dishes to Smith. Makes it off the glass. Smith's got his first bucket in this one. Well, as Greg was just talking about, the assistant that was hired was Becky Hammon, a phenomenal player for a very long time in the WNBA. And Clark, you know, you and I were talking about this before. She was a perfect candidate to become the first full-time female assistant.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it might not seem like that big a deal to some, but this was a big-time barrier breaker that the Spurs pulled off.
James outside. Chance there to take the lead. Missing. San Antonio's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. And an intentional foul right there. And now around 2 minutes gone by in this half. Anderson, a screen on Irving. And Parker, here we go. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
I tell you, we're taking a look at some real deficiencies defensively. I mean, they've given up 5 straight good looks in the paint.
Irving passes to James. Feeds to Smith. Yes, it's James picking up the assist.
No matter what they've tried, the D just has not been able to deny them the ball in the paint.
And it's a big key thus far in this game, Clark, because whenever they've gotten the ball in the paint, good things have happened.
Parker kicks to Aldridge. To the paint. Here's Henderson. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And for Kyle Anderson, he had so many traits, Greg, the Spurs were looking for when they drafted him back in 2014. But he spent pretty much the entire season on the pond.
Yeah, and you know that Coach Pop makes his guys earn their minutes. You know, he doesn't care if he took you in the first round or if you're an undrafted free agent. He's going to play the guy who helps his team win.
Irving kicks to LeBron. Good for his 8th field goal. He's attempted a dozen shots.
A signature bucket for him on that possession. They can get themselves in front quickly with a few more like that.
Leonard attacking, and that one's good. Leonard's got 6 here in this quarter.
You know, talking about Kyle Anderson, he's a bit of a polarizing prospect, has a multifaceted skill set. I mean, excellent court vision, outstanding length, doesn't have elite athleticism, absolutely needs to get stronger, but he's got a lot of game.
And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
Tim Duncan, he's checked in for San Antonio.
In for the Spurs.
And guys, getting back to Kyle Anderson, not a fit for every system. I mean, he's a guy who needs the ball in his hands to be effective, and he's much more of a facilitator than a finisher at this stage.
Nice job, Cavalier girls. What do you say, fans? You feel pumped up now?
Here's Parker. He has 6. Pass to Duncan. He dishes it to Anderson. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. That one on Love. The Spurs have gone a perfect 7 of 7 from the line tonight.
You know, the Cavs last season won a bunch of games, but they had to fight for a lot of them. They often would fall behind early or dig a big hole and have to fight their way out of it.
Leonard against LeBron. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Irving dishes to LeBron. Back to Irving. Now the pass to Fry. Goes back up. Nice D from Duncan. You mentioned, GA, the Cavs and their comebacks. They actually overcame double-digit deficits for 13 of their 53 wins last year.
And Kevin, I remember their biggest one being a comeback after being down 17 points. I mean, but when you have the star power that the Cavs have, no comeback is out of the question. You're just never safe against this team.
Parker passes to Green. San Antonio calls timeout.
Come on, let's have a round of applause for the Cavalier girls.
So both teams making some changes here.
Fans, you feel pumped up now?
We've got 13 seconds left in the third quarter. 5 on the clock. Parker kicks to Duncan. And Duncan gets double teamed. Mozgov with the steal. And we've watched 3 so far in this one. It's San Antonio up by 4. We're going to step aside for just a second, but join us right back here for the start of the fourth quarter next. Thanks for joining us again as we get set for the fourth quarter. A terrific game so far. Okay, now let's reset our lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this fourth quarter. The court for Cleveland. J.R. Smith and LeBron at the 2 and 3. Kevin Love out there with Channing Frye. And it's Irving at the point guard. Parker drives in. Duncan dishes to Aldridge. And stolen by Love.
It's really been a tale of 2 halves, hasn't it, guys? As far as taking care of the basketball, immaculate at halftime, but he's had too many miscues here in the second half.
Out to Parker. The tray. They get it again. Leonard against Smith. Leonard draws the double. Back to Green. Here's Aldridge. Boom, he jams it straight down.
And that's how it's done. I mean, find that hole in the D and then go hard to the right.
Maybe that hole was a little bigger than it should have been.
Well, it was. I mean, a tight game like this one, you'd think they'd have a little more energy at the defensive end than that.
And the deeper we get into this game, it seems like the more the offenses are in rhythm.
Without question. I mean, both of these teams are firing on full broadband bandwidth. I mean, full throttle ahead.
He feeds it to Duncan. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
I tell you what, you don't want to allow too many of those kinds of baskets with the game on the line.
This is when the defenders...
Man, he got fancy with that one, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open.
I tell you what, I like that, though, guys. Some coaches... might not want you to make a play like that, but I tell you what, when you got the skills like that, I say go for it.
San Antonio calls timeout. Now, safe to say that J.R. Smith has never been short on confidence, Clark, his entire career.
Yeah, he's always been a guy who could actually play with confidence and back it up. When he's hot from the floor, he can take over games single-handedly.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Greg Popovich coaching his team during that last break. He's looking for whatever they have left in the tank. He said, I know it's been a hard-fought game, but now's not the time to leave anything in reserve. If you're tired, come out. Otherwise, I expect you to be going all out, full speed. Guys?
And for Smith and his confidence, last year even he said he's on pace to be one of the best shooters the game has ever seen. So obviously not lacking in belief in his ability.
Parker passes to Duncan. Here's Aldridge. And that comes off the assist by Duncan. Now it's a 7-point Spurs lead. Oh, went in there and tried to power it down, but drew contact. He'll head to the line.
And not sure if I can agree with J.R. Smith's assessment that he'll be one of the greatest shooters of all time, but he's pretty deep into his career at this point. Maybe he's hoping for a Kyle Korver type of career after 30 years of age.
On the wing, Green. And he banks in the layup. Green's got the lead up to 7 now for the Spurs.
That's exactly why you don't leave your feet until the shooter elevates. He went for that pump fake, hook, line, and sinker.
We've got 1:55 left in the game. Leonard kicks to Duncan. To the middle. Looking for Aldridge. He gets it there. And a missed layup. Cavaliers have gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. It's LeBron with the drive. That's good. James has got 27.
Big time bucket there, and you can expect to see him stay very involved the rest of the way.
Leonard on the wing. Deflects the pass. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by James. San Antonio calls timeout. They're in front by 5. 1:25 left in the fourth quarter. And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth. Parker dishes to Duncan. Inside, Aldridge.
Tim Duncan, even in his advanced years, showing you that great vision and still getting it done. Nice pass.
Parker with the steal.